Greetings from North Bay, Ontario, Canada. This is the venue for the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2018. Beautiful sunset over Lake Nipissing here in the gateway to the north. It's about a 5-hour drive north of Toronto. Late winter rather. Spring is in the air. On the shores of Lake Nipissing, beautiful panorama view. We are at the Memorial Gardens in North Bay. Coming inside, welcoming the athletes for tonight's session. Our feature match in session number 17 is the home team, Canada, taking on Italy. Let's meet the teams. For Team Canada, at lead tonight will be Dawn McEwen. At second, Jill Officer. At third is Caitlin Laws, and the skip, Jennifer Jones. Unbeaten, can they maintain that record tonight? Here's the Italian lineup. At lead, Angela Rome. At second stone, Stefania Costantini. At third, Veronica Zapponi, and the skip, Diana Gaspari. Here are the standings. Getting near the playoffs, Canada and Sweden, the letter Q signifies they've already qualified for the playoffs. Korea behind them at 6-3, along with Russia. USA at 5-4, Czech Republic at 5-5, Italy at 2-8. We'll keep an eye on all of the 4 games for you. Germany takes on the United States, a big game for the USA. Russia faces Sweden. Korea takes on Japan. And our feature match, Canada versus Italy. Let the games begin indeed. Teams exchanging handshakes before the match. I'm joined by Sander Rova. Good evening to you, Sander.
Good evening, Hans.
Canada rolling along. It's the top-ranked team versus the team that's at the bottom of the table. On paper, you would say it's a mismatch, but playing the game on ice.
Yeah, well, Italy is definitely going to have to play one of their better games this week, if not the best, to beat Canada. And it remains to see if the Canadian truck is steamrolling ahead or if it's starting to slow down and taking a pit stop, so to speak. We shall see.
Yes, indeed, Canada has already qualified for playoff round play. We'll explain the playoff format through the match. Italy is out of the playoff picture, but they're looking to play spoiler tonight. Canada looking for that #1 seed. There is an advantage for finishing at the top of the rankings. We'll explain that through the game. Great crowd tonight here at the Memorial Gardens, a fantastic venue for curling. Lots of hometown support, as you would expect. Lots of energy in the rink tonight. Here are the rules of play. 10 end games. One must play a minimum of 6. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time to play their shots. Each team has 1 60-second timeout. Things are pumping here at the Memorial Gardens. This crowd anticipating their hometown team. Jennifer Jones, Olympic champion in Sochi, world champion. Hoping to add a second world title, but there's work to do yet. Into the playoffs. But they'd really like to finish #1 in the round robin. Carry that momentum into the weekend, into the playoff phase. Canada has earned last rock advantage in the first end by virtue of superior last shot draws before the match. So the Italians will get us underway. Diana Gaspari the Italian skip, holding the target line. She knows she is in tough tonight against unbeaten Canada. Angela Romay, the Italian lead, starts us off. Angela had the afternoon off. Italy played this afternoon. Stone sliding deep and through the rings. Chiara Olivieri played at the lead spot this afternoon for Italy, but it's Angela Romay back in the lineup tonight. Through the ring, so a great chance here for Canada to go for it right off the bat with last rock. Dawn McEwen, the Canadian lead. Canada carrying on from their impressive victory last night over, at the time, the only other unbeaten team, Anna Hasselborg, the Olympic champion from Sweden. Won that game quite convincingly, and that really lays down a marker, Sander, for the rest of the field.
Yeah, they're certainly the ones to beat. And so far, they could be matching the undefeated run of Rachel Homan last year, except he would go one extra game.
That's true. A larger field this year at the Ford Worlds. 13 member associations competing. There were 12 member associations competing last year. 3 Pacific Asia region teams here in North Bay this year. Italian stone comes just to the front of the button. Jennifer Jones lining it up. The sweep immediately.
Okay. Good scrub. Nice throw, Don.
Right in the nose. Stefania Constantine, 18 years old. Not even the youngest player in this event, but a player with a fantastic future ahead of her. Makes the hit, rolls away from the guard. See the aggression of Team Canada. They're ignoring it. They're going to go around the corner guard. It's not surprising, is it, Sander? They'll press it at every advantage, especially with last rock. Really try to put the pressure on early. They'd really like to get a handy lead and put this game away if they could.
Yeah, I think there's many factors. One, they usually play quite aggressively. 2, they can get shots thrown behind the corner. They're also playing at home. If they're not home fans, they're needing to entertain a little bit. But also, like you said, they would like to try and win this game early.
Jill Officer, the second stone of Canada, with the task of throwing this come around. Ooh, very nice. Great first up come around draw by Jill Officer. Drills it right on the tee line behind the corner guard. Great job.
Actually gets so buried that it's not shot stone after all. A little bit over buried.
Full protection behind the guard, but Sanders right. It is second shot. So Diana Gaspari will ask Constantini to follow that one down, sit right on top of it. This is really a signature of this Team Gaspari. Diana loves the freeze. Lots of rocks in play. She's very comfortable with that. She likes to draw. This one, though, it's going to need a little bit of propulsion. Looks a bit light. Clips the corner. Setting up really nicely for Team Canada in the first end. They've got last rock. Chance for Jill Officer to remove the Italian stone with tons of separation between the rocks. Jennifer Jones a little disappointed in herself. She was looking even for a little bit of an outside roll, slight inside roll, but long separation. Italy could roll to the left and maybe get behind the corner guard. Veronica Zapponi, third stone for Italy, playing the intern.
Even if you just nose hit here, there'll be a pretty good angle on the next one. Tough for Canada to roll very far the other way and not leave an angle for the big roll or double. This way, just rolling halfway, Canada can make that roll back and come deeper. I think I'd prefer actually just nosing it on that occasion, just kind of build it higher up in the house, get a better angle on the next one.
Caitlin Laws. Third player for Canada.
Anything at all, Don, even a rock. Go, 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 go.
Trying to spring it a little bit to the right to get more of a gap between the stones. Gets a roll of about half a rock.
Pretty good.
Canada lies 2. Going to get the inside roll, but it's going to roll underneath the Canadian stone and out of the rings. So it's green light for Canada. You've got one behind the corner guard buried, and now you're going to zip another one right in there.
I think it'll be a hair slower than the line path. Yeah, I agree.
This is how threes happen.
Yeah.
Caitlin Laws. Recently won the gold medal at the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. Is one of the 2 members of the Canadian mixed doubles curling team. Teammate John Morris will forever be able to call themselves the first ever Olympic mixed doubles champions. That's quite an honor. Stone well by the guard. Makes it to the tee line. Might be hiding half. Nice weight.
Good try, Caitlin.
Sorry, thought it would come off a hair more across the forefoot.
Yes, yeah.
Half buried.
The corner freeze, like it's not quite. I haven't quarter probably, hey?
Yeah.
So I, like, might be able to move hers around.
Maybe I'll finish tapping the rock.
Yeah.
It will be the freeze for Gaspari. Iana Gaspari. Skip for Team Italy.
She's played Canada 10 times at the World Championships in her career. Only won the once. That was beating Heather Nedwin in 2012.
Needs to get by the corner. Just by. How far can they drag it? Can they get it for second shot at least? Yes, they do, but Canada's still lying 1. Reduces the risk of a 3, though, Sander.
Yeah, still a chance for Jones to come down here and try and maybe just corner freeze, sit side by side with the yellow.
Yeah, had a good time on her.
So position A for this stone will be directly behind the corner freeze.
Kind of full 8.
Target stone is the yellow stone in the rings.
Top
Wants to sit on the top of the corner. But
are you inside edge?
Yeah.
Jennifer Jones. Gold medal winner in Sochi. At the Olympics there.
Yeah, she's played Diana Gaspari on 3 occasions at the World Championships. 05, 08, 09. It's won all 3. Could be 4 today.
No, it's by. Is she going to get second shot or is it going to over curl? That's close.
Kind of seemed like they gave up a little bit on it.
Did.
But it was very close.
Yeah, hard sweep might have held the line a little fraction better. It's quite important. It dictates the shot choice for Italy. Just judging by the demeanor of the players on the ice, I think Canada is only lying 1. Stefani's going to have a look at it.
I could have frozen ours.
Yeah, that Yellowstone definitely in second shot position. Getting a closer look at it now.
You know, Jones took less ice for the shot from the hack.
It's true. She did ask for an adjustment in the line before she threw it.
Couldn't really afford to overcurl. You could hear her say, could have frozen her own. Could have been an option as well. It would have been half buried.
So another chance for Gaspari to weld one in there.
I think she's just coming after the shot stone.
Oh, just going to try and pick it out, is she?
Yeah, and the danger though is you overcurl and you tick that stone just played by Jones. You might leave them sitting 2. And this might be overcurling also. Actually on the guard.
Wow. The amount of curl on that intern sign really fooling both of the skips. It will be a draw for 2.
That was very, very light. It's probably throwing hack weight and around there. Well, that was barely to the tee line.
They are on sheet D, which is the side sheet nearest the biggest part of the audience.
6 feet more? Yeah.
Haven't had too much feedback from the players on the ice that the ice conditions are that different on the side sheets or the middle sheets, but certainly on these last 2 stones, a lot more curl than anticipated. Last stone on its way for Jennifer Jones. Just needs full 8 foot for 2. Line's no problem. Weight's no problem. A piece of the button to score 2. To the delight of the hometown fans in North Bay. Canada with a great start with the hammer. They lead it 2-0 after 1. Canada's Don McEwen starts us in the second end of this 10-end game. Nearing the end of the round robin here at the Ford World Women's Curling Championships. You're joining us live from North Bay, the North Bay Memorial Gardens. Near capacity crowd here on a Thursday night, cheering on their hometown team. Italy has the hammer here in the second end. Playing the guard.
Back onto the ice for Romay. Didn't play earlier today. She's had some struggles this week.
Sometimes a bit of rest can do you good. That's a pretty nice looking corner set there by Angela. Very nice shot. Canada coming into this game unbeaten, Sander, and we mentioned off the top the playoffs. There is a reward for finishing in the top two, isn't there?
Most certainly is. Rank 1, rank 2, they go to the semi-finals. They get a bye, and then rank 3 through 6 play in quarterfinals, and the winner of those will play the teams in the semi-finals.
So Canada and Sweden have already qualified, but that means they've qualified into the top 6. Doesn't mean that they've locked up that first or second place ranking. Canada can get a win today. That would put them in really nice position because the head-to-head tiebreaker with Sweden, because they defeated Sweden last night. The head-to-head tie would go to Canada. Nearest teams after Canada and Sweden are on 3 losses, and that's Korea and Russia. So it's still theoretically possible that Canada could fall to 9-3. But they can really lock up a place in the top 2 here with a win tonight. Eases it by the guard, pushes the Canadian stone behind the tee line. Nice shot.
Yeah, good pair by Romay.
Italy has the hammer here in end number 2. Be one of these situations, Sander, where because you feel like you've got a little bit more skill than your opponent, you might get sucked into playing shots you might not ordinarily play. Electing to come in here instead of running a center guard.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that also mixed with the confidence of beating everyone.
When you're in the zone, you feel like you can make everything.
That and, you know, playing for the crowds a little bit. But also, like we mentioned, maybe wanting to win this game a little bit early. Take an early advantage.
Stone comes up short, so there are 2 stones in front of the house. The red stones belong to Canada.
We could also just be wanting to throw some high accuracy shots just to try and really find the form before coming into the playoffs.
Yeah. That's true. You know when you get to the playoff phase, you're going to have tough games every time, and there's no page playoff here. When you're in the playoffs, you win and you keep advancing, and you lose. That's it, unless you lose the semifinal, of course, and you're playing for the bronze medal. So yeah, could be a situation where they're looking to try and really attack like they would in a playoff game.
Probably feel like the best way to beat Italy is to put some pressure on them too, for some mistakes. But so far, Italy off to a good start in this second end.
Very nice shot there by Stefania Constantini. Beauty. Very nice shot. No more messing around now for Jennifer Jones. One attempt to play a delicate shot around the guard crashes, so this time it's bombs away. Jill Officer being asked to run the guard. Try to drive this straight back and maybe double off the Italian stones in the process.
Ever. Okay, Jill. Okay.
Just going to clip it. No action on the yellow stones. So the end setting up pretty nicely for Italy. They've got the center guard. They're lying two. Their stones are in front of the tee line.
Quite like the throw on that.
They've got the hammer, and they've got something going here. Constantini. Really want to get a piece of the rings. Well swept. Comes to rest in third shot position. I would have loved to wrap it around the corner, but not too bad.
The run.
Okay.
Right on the nose, close.
Yeah, nose is good. If anything, a hair low.
Okay.
Jennifer Jones looks at her options and asking Caitlin Laws to try another run back. You like this call, Sander?
Yeah.
Of all the options available, it's probably the one that it's got the best potential to limit some damage.
You'd think Caitlin Laws would be pretty close with it too.
Get it, she says, and get it she does. Raise double takeout. Caitlin Laws. Fantastic. Beautiful. Heard her say right about here, get it. She knew she was close. Perfect. Oh, yes. That sparks a buzz in this hometown crowd in North Bay. Italy still have something going. They've got last rock. Canadian stone behind the tee line. Nice shooting. A little too good. Actually pops out the other side. Jennifer Jones, though. Gonna ask Caitlin Laws to follow it down. Let's see about a quarter of it on the outturn side, but Jones immediately asked for the freeze.
Wait only. Nice grip.
Roll then, you want full eight.
Dawn's rock.
Where?
Top down a little. Never Jill.
Oh.
Down a little.
No.
Never Jill. You gotta be 2-8. Top 4 line. Like
Jennifer
full
Jones
eight.
saying Dawn's rock. That
Line's
says to me
great.
it's a
Full
little
eight.
bit wider line. They like the line now.
Full 8. No, whoa. Yep. Go.
Sits in a very threatening place. That's a setup shot for Canada. We'll try to run that in on Jennifer Jones's shot. They also cut off the path to the button. Yellowstone is the Italian rock. It's shot rock. Veronica Zapponi. Ooh. How deep will it slide? Comes to rest, freezes the backstone. Here we go, Sander. Nice shot. Stones are accumulating. Nice sweeping by Constantini and Romay.
I was hoping to sit in front of the tee line, but that was always the option. Had to go for a line.
Yep, it's welded at the back.
Speed for the tee line. Okay, ideally you're frozen. Okay.
But will force Jennifer Jones to have to make a good one though.
That's what I had.
But if she can put another freeze on top here, essentially take those two yellows out of contention for a score for Italy.
Freeze attempt by Jennifer Jones. Caitlin Law is calling for line. Is it going to overcurl? This looks light.
Keep going.
Clips the front.
Oh boy.
Trouble, trouble, trouble.
Trouble indeed. A chance for Italy to come around
You were
again.
a little light, but he also didn't go very far. Yeah, I did too.
This time, really important to stay atop the tee line, not to give Jones another out.
Yes, ideal spot here. Top forefoot, maybe just biting the button. Even
I'd say
even
just
full 8 foot. Cut off
biting the
path, right?
forefoot.
Yeah, just bite the forefoot.
Then she can't play the free. Come tee line here, she can freeze for second shots.
Right.
And then you're having a hard time getting two. So yeah, even full 8, bite forefoot, pretty perfect here. And then not sure what Canada is going to have to do.
Yeah, whatever they would have, it wouldn't be easy. Sweepers have their heads down. They say it needs it. The line's wide, but the sweepers say it's light. Cuts off the path to the forefoot, so it acts as a bit of a guard. Needed 6 feet of weight.
Make her make the draw for 2.
Yeah, exactly. Make it go wide.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Nose or anywhere high, like anywhere high?
Yeah.
7/8 to nose?
Yeah.
Okay.
See by the target
like an
brush,
8?
it's going to be red to
Or do you
red
like
to
9?
yellow. One of the two yellows, probably the one on the top of the forefoot. For Jennifer Jones says make her draw for 2. And hit just on the outside on the brush side.
I think you set yours still.
Tried the red stone on an angle to the back left, onto the red stone, the 8 foot, onto the yellow stone, the top of the forefoot. And say to Diana Gaspari, okay, somehow find your way around all the stones to get 2.
Guessing it would be it'd be impossible to slash the reds past the stone on top 4, click the frozen back ones, take out your own. That'd be the worst case scenario. I don't think it's possible though.
Angle double raise. There's 1, there's 2. Glances it. Hello, hello. Leaves the Italian stone sitting in 3rd shot position. Can Diana Gaspari get to her own stone, push it, maybe score 3?
Definitely.
How do you get there?
Well, there's a hole.
There is a hole. There you can see it between the red and the yellow. Can throw hack weight. Just have to push that red stone 2 rock widths and you get 3. Shots there, definitely. Probably asking for a little more ice. The play is between the 2 guards, the red and the yellow guard, just off the center line on the right-hand side of our picture. Through the hole, onto her own stone. Bump it, push the red rock back. If you can do that, 3 points.
That didn't finish really at all. Jules didn't do a whole lot either. I thought she kind of got it back. I thought it threw that nice,
Yeah,
not wide though.
like
Well, sounded they're debating that shot, but really it was the shot before that cost Canada.
Yeah, that was not a bad shot. I mean, it was a good attempt, the last one. The first one, though, was a huge miss.
Diana Gaspari, can she convert? Great opportunity. You don't get many chances to score 3 against Jennifer Jones. The stone will break as it decelerates. They have to get it by the guards. They're by the guards. Looks pretty good. It's going to be 3 for Italy. Great shot by Diana Gaspari. Italy scores 3. Said you might be unbeaten, Canada, but we can play this game too. After 2 ends of play, it is Italy on top by a score of 3-2. Third end about to get underway here from North Bay. You're enjoying live coverage of the Ford World Women's Curling Championships 2018. Canada versus Italy. And if Canada, unbeaten coming into this game, ever needed a wake-up call, they just got it, Sander.
Yeah, there's no room for complacency here.
Fantastic setup shots, come arounds, freezes, finishes it off, and Deanna Gaspari scores 3. Team Italy have come with the intention of giving Canada a game tonight. And more than giving them a game, they want to walk off with a win.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how patient Canada, or how impatient they'll be here.
Exactly.
To get back in the lead, score a 2 or 3.
Corner guard being set here by Don McEwen. This one is going to be quite long.
When you feel like you're supposed to be winning a game and it's not going your way, it's easy to go on tilt.
Yep.
Maybe make some overly aggressive calls and get frustrated and stop communicating well.
We will listen closely to the Team Canada communications. That's an excellent point, Sander. That's usually an indicator when things aren't quite right, when things get quiet out there between teammates. You know your stuff, Sander.
Well, I've been there.
Voice of experience. I think we've all been there.
T-line.
Just past the T-line. Don McEwen. Well, gotta go, says Jennifer Jones. They're definitely going, but this one is going to rub the center guard.
Okay.
Once again, things building up for the Italians. Trying to wrap one around on the outturn side. Love to have this one in front of the tee line and ideally blocking the path to their shot rock. Stefania Constantini. On it immediately. They like the weight. Are they by the guard? Yes, they are. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Perfect. Great shot. Forza Italia. They have come to play tonight.
Well, you might think you run your own red guard back here, but Canada would quite like to remove the centre guard and try and roll away a little bit. Bad slide by Officer. Makes the shot though.
Yep, bad slide, good result.
Really good, Joe.
Leaves 2 Italian stones in the ring with a little wry smile. I'm sure she'll say to her teammates, I slid ugly, but I got a good result.
I've actually seen quite a few unstable slides from Jill Officer this week.
Well, it's late in the year. It's a long week. It's a 12-game round robin here at the Ford Worlds. It's a lot of curling. And as you get later in the week, you get mentally a bit tired and physically a bit tired, and your attention can drift, and all of a sudden it's a quick moving out of the hack and you're off balance. It can happen. This stone is just going to rub that center guard as well. 2 stones in the ring belong to Italy. 3 rocks up the front. Good news for the Italians is they're controlling the center line. Chance for Canada now, though, to hit one of these Italian stones and maybe get a roll behind the pile. Better slide there from Jill Officer.
No. Maybe a little quieter at the end, I think. Not bad. What do you think, Caitlin?
Looking for a roll, but they're not going to get it.
Well, you can have a bad slide, make a shot. You can have a good slide and not make a shot. It's just how it works.
Yeah, I think all things considered, I'd rather slide ugly and make shots.
In off that back of the red, so you can hang out for a minute.
Don't score points for form in curling, but obviously you make more shots the more consistent you are, so nobody wants to have a bad slide. Veronica Zappone also looking for the roll, but not going to get it, right in the nose. Much better situation for Canada now. If they can get the roll, they're going to stay in front of the tee line.
What is a good slide, Hans?
I've never had one.
Well, I know that, but
well, a good slide is really just being on a line towards the target brush. Straight back, straight through, no wasted motion. Good balance, your center of gravity over your sliding foot. Whether you're a flat foot slider or a toe slider like Caitlin Laws, it's the center of gravity and that nice extension along the target line.
sounds about right.
We're not even rolling. Go.
Willing that stone to curl, just not quite enough. Might have made it difficult for Italy to get inside it now, though. Caitlin Laws might just be able to get across the nose.
It's a little bit tricky.
Yeah, you'd really be flirting with the guard if you're going an inside roll.
Yeah, you take that, you might spin that red guard into the house.
Yeah, that would be bad. Zappone looking on. This stone is tracking wide. Rolling to the outside.
I think she realized the danger and just threw a little safe.
Yes, in your mind when you're throwing, you're always thinking about, if I'm not absolutely perfect, where is it better to be slightly not perfect? And on that one, better to be a little bit wide than a little bit tight. A little bit tight. You crash the guard, you maybe promote your opponent into the ring. So you're absolutely right, Sander. Veronica Zapponi on the pro miss side.
Come on, make sure you're here. Yes, you gotta go. Needs to curl, gotta curl, guys. We're wide open.
It's a draw this time. Giving up on the hit and roll, just going to try to draw their way under cover.
Go, 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 go. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Hard, 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 hard. Okay.
Well by the guard. I think that one's going to be in the open. Maybe even more available than the previous stone was for Italy. So they will have a chance to get that inside roll. Nobody's been able to nail it yet. But if the Italians could hit this stone roll 2 rocks to the left, they'd be lying 3 with 1 to cover. Be in great shape.
Alla fine, quando ha rallentato, ha tirato.
Gaspari lines it up. Pretty similar shot to her shot for 3 in terms of weight. Must be a nice control of weight here, a little bit more than the hit for 3. It's a bit of a board weight shot by the looks of it. Trying to sweep a bit for curl. Little inside roll, that's a nice shot. You can hear the murmurs of anxiety from the hometown crowd. Things not going their team's way so far. The Italians are on fire.
If she ever makes that. Okay. Thinking here with back line?
Yep.
Jones says, I can just see enough of that one
like in
to
the first end.
clip the Italian stone.
You guys like the run, or do you like tapping it?
Run is our first option. I don't hate the tap.
Bit of debate about the shot choice. Jones is playing the tap. Her teammates are saying, what about the run? Run the red back.
It's not great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this.
You think the tap is more likely to keep a red stone than the 8-foot for a shot somewhere?
Back line.
The run, you're going to have to stick it.
I just wonder if she can get enough contact and enough momentum to push the Italian stone out of shot rock position. She can make contact for sure, but she can only see about
Go, go,
quarter
go,
of the
go,
rock.
Go, go. It's good. Go. Hard. Hard. Breathe good, Caitlin. Hard.
Has to get by that red guard. Already curled onto it. She's going to just tap it forward. Got lucky.
I think that was the plan all along, Hans.
Was the tap. Okay, then I apologize. That's a great shot. If the play was the tap on the red, then that was perfect. My apologies to Jennifer Jones. Great shot. It's the perfect weight for the tap.
Noticed how this stone actually curls past the yellow and around it.
Yes, it's an
with the bend.
It's an outturn draw now. That's amazing. Here's the rotation of the handle around the stone.
Yeah, because it's barely moving, it gets that little bend. Less rotation, more curl.
Thought it was
Great
a little
job.
bit inside. But still not curling.
No, all of a sudden, one shot turns everything around. Great job by Jennifer Jones. Straight back is there for the Italians, but she can only get to half of the rock.
Secondo me non curla, cioè secondo me questa arriva solo qua. Perché anche lì la spingo lì, gli do la
appunto.
Forse però interno esterno questo.
Looking at playing the hit and roll off her own stone to roll into the 4-foot. She does have her own stone on the center line. She could try the same shot that Jones tried and tap her own stone forward. What do you think they've called here, Sander?
I think we
Looks like the hit and roll off of the yellow.
This draw a lot. We did, yeah. I think edge of the button.
Maybe the double.
Close.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's pretty thin, so I think it's just a rule.
It is, yeah.
Keep the double in mind, though. If it doesn't curl as much, you can call on the sweepers. Catch it thin. Well, big weight, so maybe the double. I'm not liking this one, I think.
Yeah, you usually tell by the tone of the sweeping call. I think it's over curled already. Yes, it has. So, chance for Canada to get there 2. They have to get another stone into the 8-foot.
Well, they certainly already knew what they were going to do, Canada. Seems to be the tap on the tight guard to the right.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
It'd be very hard to draw away from the 8-foot circle and draw there, I agree. You can see the path being cleared by Caitlin Laws.
These taps are really tough. I mean, the first one was
I think it's
tough.
I think it's decent.
Just have to be so perfect
I like it.
with weight in line. Meeting almost a piece of the forfeit here.
She absolutely nailed the first one. Can she do it again? Short tap, trying to score 2. This one has over curled. It's only going to be a single point.
I thought that'd be good.
1 point for Canada. Italy dodges a bullet. Get the force. After 3 ends of play, we are all tied up at 3. Let's take a look at the scores across the other games. On sheet A, Germany leading 2-1 over the United States. Russia with a 3-1 lead over Sweden. That would be a big result if the Russians could win this game. Korea 4-1 over Japan. And in our feature match, Canada 3-3 against Italy. McEwen of Canada. The first stone of the 4th end, 10-end game. Round robin action here at the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Hans Round up here with Sandra Roebuck on a Thursday night in North Bay. Hometown crowd here in North Bay, I think, was expecting a bit of a victory parade tonight, Sander, with the top of the table unbeaten Canadians against Italy, who are at the bottom of the standings, but anything but. This game's tied after 3, and the Italians are playing very well.
Yeah, they've turned the hammer, basically. Canada started with last one advantage. Now it's in the hands of Italy with a tied score. So by the scoreboard, they have been the better team so far.
Angelo Rone, Italian lead, trying to draw around the center guard. This one is going to slide behind the tee. Comes to rest. Just biting the back four. Red 4-foot circle. Don McEwen. Nice brushing there by Officer and Laws to bring that stone into the front button. Right behind the guard. Nice shot. Okay. I love Italian line and sweeping calls. Italian is one of the most melodic languages, I think, in the world, Sander. And I could listen to them calling sweeping calls all day. It just sounds beautiful.
4 feet. Okay, so it's like a 14 here, right? Yeah. Make it better each rock. Yeah. So 4 feet.
Jill Officer. Trying to take away the center line.
Split center, needs to curl, Dawn Brock. No, it's gonna overcurl, I think. Dawn, clean it, needs to curl. Get off, heavy. Get off. Sit down. We're in. Stop. No. Almost in. Okay. Okay.
A little tighter than they would have liked, but that's a pretty good shot. Stefania Constantini, 78% of the tournament. Brava. Very good, says Gaspari. We often speak about curling at the Olympics. Diana Gaspari was the skip of the Italian women's team at the 2006 Winter Olympics in her homeland of Italy in Torino. Jennifer Jones, Olympic champion in Sochi. And Anna Hasselborg, also in action here tonight. Olympic champion at Pyeongchang in 2018.
Good. Wow. I thought I threw left on that. You did. Jen, do you guys have on those? Like 6. O così anche.
The Italians have last rock. Canada line one right now.
Vuoi la doppia di qua, mi sa. Questa qua? Rossa su gialla, secondo me. O no? Proviamo questo. Cioè, quella non è che mi piaccia tanto. È che ho paura che la rossa resti qua. E aprire solo la singola così. Da solo la rossa? Che siamo bloccati tutti. Ok, allora ok.
I don't think Stefania's convinced. Looked to me like Deanna wants to play the yellow run-in onto the center guard. Sander, is that the play?
Seems to be. I'm sure the option here is to maybe over curl and catch the shot stone.
Bravissima.
Bravissima. That's better than brava.
Oh.
Nearly jammed it and kept her own stone in the
Yeah,
wing
I
as
thought
well.
maybe that was going to hang on. That's a great shot by Constantini.
Bravissima.
Or run it. I don't mind that. Do you like that? Here? Okay.
Well, if Stefania wasn't convinced of the call, she didn't show it by the execution. That was perfect. Caitlin Laws, 80% for the tournament. Third position.
You can lots of anything. No roll. Roll this back when she'll go. Okay.
Makes the short run. Canada-wise, too. Canada's alternate player, Shannon Burchard, played with this team at the Canadian Championships while Caitlin Laws was preparing for the Winter Olympics. Shannon Burchard is here as the alternate this week. 6 times Canadian champion Jennifer Jones. Got a saver over there. Stays in the rings. Ties her with the great Colleen Jones, no relation, for the most number of Canadian women's curling championships. Caitlin Laws and John Morris. It was a fantastic week of mixed doubles curling at the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, the first time that mixed doubles has been on the Olympic program.
Okay.
Just spins off the rings. Sandra, I think it's fair to say mixed doubles made a sensational debut at Pyeongchang.
Put it back in here.
Yeah, it was fun to watch, and people seem to enjoy it. Lots of crowds in, and from what I can tell, a lot of people watching on TV back home as well.
Caitlin Laws, John Morris returning to a heroic welcome when they came back to Canada as Olympic champions. Interestingly, although Canada has had such dominance in world curling over the years, that was their first ever mixed doubles international title. Tucks around, half around, nice shot, well swept. First time ever Olympic mixed doubles tournament, of course, but at world mixed doubles level. It's been a world mixed doubles championship since 2008. Canada had never won it. So the Olympic Games, great time to get your first ever mixed doubles victory as a nation.
Either that or the run. I think I like this better. I like it, yeah. Might be able to roll it into the rings.
You have a quarter? Yeah.
Hack weight. You done? I had a 14.8 on this. What do you guys have?
I did too. 14.6, yeah.
Just confirming how fast the ice is running. Jennifer Jones wants to play hack weight at this.
Hairless.
79% for the tournament. Not the smoothest slide either. Sweepers trying to hold the line past the guard. They're by. Nice shot.
It's good, Jen. Let it roll a little bit more.
Officer and McEwen. Maximum effort with the brushing. Pays off.
No, I like that. I thought it didn't think it was going to roll that far.
Ma.
Trying to roll in front.
I didn't want to create a pocket either.
Bit of a tricky angle.
Solid.
Yeah, out of 10-9.
Italy can double these off, but the question is, would you save your shooter?
So that's why I asked for less, because I knew I wasn't going to be light.
I was like, oh, I don't know.
I think the call is just to play the hit and flop. Hit one red, roll on top.
Sit on top of it. That would be a great shot. Sometimes those really close short rolls, though, are even harder to read than the longer ones.
Well, maybe tick-tick around the corner.
Yeah.
Should have swept it a little bit.
Yeah, might have got a little bit more action.
Catch the first one a little thicker. You catch the second one a little thinner. Roll a bit farther. Pretty tough to call, though.
Yeah, very tough. Just clips, spins. Sits on the button, but wide open for Jennifer Jones. Great chance for the Canadians to force here.
So this is that.
The nose. This will force Italy to take one. Canada will get an inexpensive hammer back.
Ok. Prima ti ho detto quant'eri? 10 e mezzo. Ok.
Brush position looks like about board weight, control weight for Diana Gaspari. Constantini calling for the sweep immediately. Tuta means they got to go all the way. This one is curling. Is it going to over curl? Yes, it will. It hits. It rolls out. It's a steal of 2 for Canada. Narrow on the release, over curls, makes contact but rolls out. Disappointment for the Italians, but Canada now unexpectedly steal a pair. They're up 5-3. Welcome back to the North Bay Memorial Gardens. Nice crowd in here tonight, but you've got the best seat in the house. Live action from the Ford World Women's Curling Championships 2018. Home team tonight, Canada taking on Italy. Canada unbeaten in the tournament. And a big steal of 2 in the fourth end has now given them the edge, although the Italians have been giving them a real run for their money tonight. Angela Romay, the Italian lead. Wide corner guard there for the Italians. What will Canada do? Lots of curling this week, and it's going to continue for Canadian skip Jennifer Jones and Don McEwen. Next week, we mentioned the Olympic mixed doubles tournament. Next week will be the Canadian Mixed Doubles Championship that will determine their representative at the Worlds in Östersund in Sweden in April. Jennifer will be competing with Brent Lang, not only her mixed doubles partner, but also her husband. So after playing 12+ games here in North Bay, catch your breath, do it all again. This time it's even more work because they're going to be sweeping every rock. Romay looking to duck around that corner guard that she set. Looks pretty good. Very nice. She's had her struggles this week, Sander, but she's playing very well tonight. Angela Romay at lead.
Yeah, maybe that break earlier today was good. Just to refresh a little bit and think over a few things. Come back and have the motivation to prove herself. Prove herself to the team.
Jill Officer taking dead aim on the corner guard, looking to run it back. Peels the guard, spills across her own stones. Gaspari would like the corner guard to be replaced.
It's just getting heavier, and we just gotta, yeah, we just gotta pick it up.
Stefania Constantini, the second stone for Italy. One of a number of teenagers in the tournament this week. There is no minimum age requirement to compete at the open curling level. Lots of flags waving in the crowd tonight, of course, as you'd expect. This World Championship being played in Canada.
Looks like a lot of snow.
A lot of support for the home team, as you'd expect.
I like it.
Corner guard attempt quite long, so Jill Officer is going to make a play at the stone in the rings.
Right to it. Gotta go, gotta go, 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 go.
They're
Keep
by the
going.
guard.
Okay, well, no, then. Okay.
Removes the Italian shot. Canada lies 3.
Guys, that came down to here.
10 down.
Set up, finish capisci bene 4-5, 4-10 va bene.
Constantini try to get rid of one of the Canadian stones at least. Maybe roll her shooter somewhere useful. Well, it's not a hit after all. Straight draw. Try to come around these stones. Just rubs.
Go.
Drops out in the open. The stones are accumulating. Bit of danger now for the Italians. They do have last rock here in the fifth.
I'll make sure. I'm thinking the out. Do you like that? Throw here, Caitlin.
This will be much more comfortable though for Team Canada, I think, Sandra. It's pretty straight up and down for them now. That 2-point lead. You know the Italians are going to be pressing and they could just keep it simple.
Well, it's only 2 points though. They had a 2-point lead in the first end.
That's true.
Or after the first.
That turned around in a hurry, didn't it?
Whoa.
Exactly right.
Off.
But they'll feel a bit more comfortable now.
I just want to make sure.
Nose hit. This time it will be the hit. Veronica Zapponi. Looking for a roll, but nothing doing. Here's Canada line 2.
1, 2. Okay.
Jennifer Jones confirms that for us.
Sure. Okay. Dawn, second one was a 14-2 to full 12.
Yeah, I'm gonna I think mine will travel better than hers, though. Mine will be running further than
Jennifer Jones seems to think the ice is slowing down a little bit. See if I can maybe get a hog-to-hog on this stone.
Heard her say 14-2 to the front ring. It's a little slower tonight than it's been running, but not massively.
Okay, room. Oh, little hot. Joe's coming down. Clean it, yes. Back four.
Line over.
Oh,
room, you're
back
by.
four.
You're by. Sorry.
Really trying.
I know. My bad. Really good, Caitlin. That's good.
Piece of the button. Nice shot.
Wow. That's really way out there off. Yeah, I know. I just think we just.
Canada now lies 3. Gaspari will be playing the front stones to open up the 4-foot. Angles aren't great if this one over curls. Could push the Canadian stone behind the corner. And it does. Fortunately, just pushes the Canadian stone into 4th shot position.
You could dare to be heavy.
We guard this and leave it around.
Like that. I just feel like if we're here, I mean, I just have to make it, but just wants to run double. But anywhere in front of it.
See from the brush position, it's going to be in the front 12-foot right on the center line. Be a guard and 3rd shot.
Well, I got about a 13-8 on that draw by Caitlin Laws.
Trust you, Sandra. You're a long-time world-class front-end player. You know your draw weight.
I think I prefer coming in. Do you guys like coming around theirs? It's just that we give them too many run doubles. I think this is better. Okay. Front of that red.
Hey, Jen.
So 3.5 to tee, hey? Like
I think so,
10.
yeah.
Okay, so about 10 feet heavier than the beginning of the game. Okay.
Do you like a little less or no? We don't want
I
to
heard her
cross,
say 3.5
actually.
to the tee, so that's right, Sandra. was thinking 13.5 perhaps to the tee line. It is a bit heavier tonight. She's 10 feet heavier than practice.
Good. Waist nice, tight.
A little tight for line. You gotta go.
Tight. Hard. We're in top 12. You can be in. Room. Yeah. 12. Tight. Tight, Caitlin. Just tight. Just tight.
Well, then if you're tight, it's gotta sit if you're tight.
Get it fully in. It's just tight.
We're not in.
Rob.
Okay.
Well, that was sort of in between. Wanted that one in the full 12 foot. There was Italian coach Soren Gran. Thumbs up. Opens the door for Gaspari. Sandra, it's only half covering the shot. Can she get down there and just nudge it a bit?
Feet heavier than the first stand.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Like,
Was that like a 13.8?
no, I had a 14.8.
Yeah, can't just freeze. You might see Canada just throw a guard. So you want to try and get shots down here. But no need to move it too far.
Yeah, it's almost behind the tee line already. You only have to nudge it a couple of centimeters. Presuming you get to nose, of course.
Gaspari actually looking up at the Jumbotron here in the Memorial Gardens to get a better look.
Check the angles.
Ok, linea no. Di là, no. 8. No. 8. Di. 8. No. No. Se 8 no. 8. No. Di. 8. No. 8.
Sweeper say it's got plenty of weight. And this is all about the line. This one is well by the guard. No contact yet. Just a piece.
Go, 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 go,
Spills.
go, 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 go.
And it goes back into third shot position. Just about 5 feet of weight makes all the difference. Just tracked straight. Great opportunity now for Canada. It'll be Jennifer Jones trying to make that freeze to that stone on the button sander.
Now, I saw this from Gaspari in the game earlier today, where she only needed a tiny tap and then overthrew it. Like a mentally thinking tap.
Right.
Then you add extra weight,
Right.
where you should really mentally think
Freeze.
T-line draw.
Right.
Right.
Gonna double.
And let the sweepers do the
Line
rest.
should
Yes.
get there.
Throw the freeze, sweep for the bump. Jennifer Jones. Italy with the hammer, but Canada with a great chance to weld another one in there and force a steal. She gets this thing nose frozen on the front of the button. Almost impossible for Italy to score. This one is wide as well, so they are not going to try to sweep it too close to set up a double takeout, but have they? Comes to rest biting front button. Don't know if Gaspari can get enough of the stone to make the double and stick around.
Un po' lentino, non dico tipo apertura, che lì dentro non viene.
Looking at raising her own yellow stones.
Quella lì vicino alla center.
Canada lies 3.
No, perché stappa secondo me non le sposti. Tipo 10 metri secondo me, ma non devi prendere. Almeno da fargliene fare al massimo uno. Sì.
Any shot here is a tough one.
La prendo piena, ne fanno uno. Piena. Cioè loro ne fanno uno. Ne fanno uno.
Nothing on the inside.
Secondo me questo
On the intern.
è rischioso un po' anche per il track. Però se lo vuoi provare lo facciamo. È che sono 3. Appunto. Dai,
It's like a tap of one of these two yellows.
Ok. Un po' di più.
Sander thinks he sees a shot for 2. I'm not sure I see it.
Proviamo con un 1.
Just joking.
Ne prendiamo uno solo. Se magari tirla bene lo facciamo.
This might be damage control. You play down to the front stone, pop the one out.
Provo 11.
If you drop 1 here, you're not out of the game. But if you drop 3,
And
if you tried to raise and you missed it, could be game over.
Well, that's what you got to think.
been sitting more than a couple
You can
of
just
rounds,
play
yeah,
this,
maybe a little bit
play the
heavier.
top to give up one.
Like
But if you think you have to score, you can play that angled raise. You think you have a chance 3 down against Canada? It's tough, but you still have a game.
Italy only down 1, so they are playing to cut the Canadians down to a single point. That would be down 2 at the 5th end break. Still in the game. Got to get by this guard, though. No, they wreck. It's a steal of 3 for Canada. Control has swung firmly on the side of the Canadians. At the midpoint of the game, they lead it by a score of 8-3. Highlights of our feature game, Canada versus Italy, first end. Redstone belongs to Canada, so it's a draw for 2 for Canadian skip Jennifer Jones. Eases it into the front of the button. Canada leads it 2-0. In the second end, after some fantastic shooting by the Italians to set it up. Tricky shot through the port here for Diana Gaspari of Italy. She could score 3. Navigates the port, makes the shot. 3 points for the Italians, and they lead it by a score of 3-2. In the third end, Canada lying 1, trying to cash a second point. Jennifer Jones trying to raise, but it's over curling. Only a single point for the Canadians, and they tie it up at 3 after 3 ends of play. Fourth end, Canada lying 2. Gianna Gaspari has to hit and stick to score. But this stone is over curling. Flips the Canadian stone, but leaves it in the rings. It's a steal of 2 for Canada. Canada leads it 5-3. Fifth end. Looking at 3 again. Gaspari trying to limit the damage. Just trying to cut Canada down to 1. But it's again over curling, clipping the center guard, and another steal, this time of 3 points. Jennifer Jones and her Canadian teammates lead it 8-3 at the 5th end break. Here's what's happening across the sheets tonight here at the North Bay Memorial Gardens. Germany with a 4-2 lead over the United States. Jamie Sinclair and the USA really need that win. Can they come back? Russia with a 5-3 lead over Sweden. A second loss staring in the face of Anna Hasselborg. Korea with a 6-3 lead over Japan in our feature match. Canada with a handy 8-3 lead now over Italy. head-to-head statistics at the halfway point. Clear edge to the Canadians. And shooting percentage, the bottom stat is the big one. 5 stolen points for the Canadians. That's the difference on the scoreboard.
Wonder if the next one's going to be a steal of 4.
2-3-1-2-3-4, or is it 2-3-1-2-3-2? If you love patterns, many people in curling do. You're always counting numbers. Appears that Canada's making a substitution, as they're entitled to do. Alternate Shannon Burchard comes onto the ice. Jill Officer is going to have a rest. There's Shannon Burchard.
We'll try it.
I think they're just looking for the gripper. There's Jill Officer.
Might steal it off the back of your room and see if you can at least pick it.
Job done for Jill tonight. She can't go back in the game once she's been substituted. Don McEwen, 80% tonight, just slightly below her tournament average, 85. 12 game round robin, Sander, and
Good, Dawn. Real good, yeah?
an opportunity to not only get a bit of ice time for your alternate player, but also rest up Jill Officer. She's been doing a lot of sweeping.
Yeah, I don't think she minds.
It's good to have an early night. Angela Romay. I'm sure that Coach Soren Grant at the halftime break would have just been telling the team, get your pair, go from there. First 3 ends of the game, the Italians were outplaying the Canadians. Just the last couple of ends, some disappointing final shots from Gaspari has let the Canadians steal a bundle of points.
Run it a bit, run it a bit. Whoa, 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 that's heavy. We don't have line for that. Right off, right off. Around it. Right off, right off, right off. Get better, get better. Good, John.
Two stones in the forefoot for Canada.
Cosa deve fare? Guarda.
free guard zone. Part of the end is over, so it's guard clearing time for Jennifer Jones, lining him up. So welcome to the action, Shannon Burchard. Your first task is to try a cross-house double clear. 94% for her limited time in this tournament. Big weight. Okay, Jill. Play your way back into the lineup now. Great shot. Big smile from Shannon. You can understand why.
It's a little bit better than the first one she had in the first game, where the broom caught the ice and she fell over. She still made the shot pretty well, though, with the fall. But here, you see a great result.
Fantastic. Stefania Constantini. Gaspari looking to move some of these stones around now. Pushes that stone back into the 12-foot. That one just came to a grinding halt. Looked like it was going out of the rings, but it stops full 12-foot. Well, tough act to follow after that first one, Sander. Cross-house double clear, roll into the rings now. Double takeout attempts. Kill the Italian stone, kill your own.
Pretty perfect.
Yep. Pretty much have to give her 9 out of 8 for this end, really, if you're scoring. The way we do the shooting percentages and curling each shot graded on a scale of 0 to 4, 4 being exactly what you're looking for and 0 complete miss. Sometimes you get bonus points. When you make a shot so well, it's an outstanding result. I'm not sure if Shannon gets 9 out of 8 for this end, but certainly 8 out of 8 for those two shots. Thanks to Shannon Burchard, things going according to plan for the Canadians. No guards in front of the house, and the Italian stone wide open for Caitlin Laws. Having a great game.
Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, 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 roll it, Dawn, roll it.
Looking to roll away from the pile, and nice execution here by Team Canada. Here's Caitlin Laws looking on.
It did run right where I threw it.
Just get a sense in the body language of Team Italy now, Sandra, that they're going to continue to fight. 93% for Veronica Zapponi tonight. She's having a nice game, but just sensing they're a little dispirited after starting the game so well, and now they find themselves down 5.
Well, it's only natural, really.
Yeah.
Feel like you have a chance. You're out playing Canada, and then you give up some big steals with some silly, sloppy shots by especially Gaspari. And you know, being 5 down against an undefeated team.
It's a long road back.
Pretty much.
And that road may be closed.
It's usually a sign when the other team's bringing the alternate on. You're not winning usually.
Yeah.
Well, either that or you're winning huge.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely right. Canada lies 4. Well, he does have last rock, but nothing to work with here. Moves the Canadian stone back. Creates a couple of possible jams.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
I'm thinking this out turn.
I agree.
Also creates possibilities of freezes on Gaspari's shot.
The hair, guys.
Just try to nose it, make that double. Thought you used it all, Shannon?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it should curl a hair or so.
There's a gap between the two stones for Jennifer Jones to punch this one straight through.
Whoa. Queen. No, 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 no. No.
Big
Whoa.
white.
Curl.
Good.
Right through the uprights. Very nice shot by Jennifer Jones. Canada lies 5.
Da lasciarglielo così è più sì, va bene, sì.
Few possibilities, but nothing really high percentage for Gaspari.
She was saying tap, but I was thinking maybe just freeze the inside of the shot stone would be pretty good as well. There'll be less room to get in there for 2. But it will be pretty impossible for Jennifer Jones to get it out. Just sit half checked on the inside of the shot stone. But I think a tap was indicated.
Diana Gaspari lining it up. Started the game really well, but has had her struggles in the last couple of ends. This is going to be on the outside of the target rock. Moves the Canadian stone, but wide open for Jennifer Jones.
Like firm. And if you nose, you nose, but you can always go into this one too.
Yeah, that's true. Do you like the intern? I think this will run dead straight.
Yeah. Yeah, if we overroll, it's fine. If we know, it's fine.
Not too much that isn't fine for Canada. Almost impossible to jam this one unless you just clip it super thin.
Trying to make the roll inside here.
Tiny roll.
Facing 6.
6.
Could be pretty ugly if Gaspari rolls out here.
Well, if Canada was to steal 5 in this end, it might be game over.
Farei un 10-10 e mezzo.
We'll play the hit and roll off of that stone, just thrown by Jennifer Jones. You see the ice just been frosting up a little bit this evening, so seems like some of the hits are grabbing a little bit, getting some finish, and that's why we've seen the Canadians play pretty solid weights, and even then they're getting a bit of swing. So
yeah, big crowd here tonight, and the day was warmer here in North Bay today, so maybe a little more humidity in the building and a little bit more grab in the ice, but Diana Gaspari trying to grab a single point here just to survive.
Playing it pretty firm, and make sure to keep the sweepers close.
Uh-oh. Steal of 2 for Canada. And the woes continue for Italy. 2 points for Canada makes the lead 10-3 rather. 10-3 for Canada after 6 ends of play. Updates across all of our games. The United States have tied the game up against Germany. They are tied at 4 in the 7th end. As have the Swedes. Russia-Sweden tied up at 5 also in the 7th. Korea holding a 6-4 lead over Japan. And Canada, get the feeling that the Italians living on borrowed time. Canada with a huge 10-3 lead. Thought for a brief moment there that the Italians might call it a night, but they've decided to play on. So Don McEwen starts it off in the 7th end.
I'm pretty sure Italy are aware it's very unrealistic to win the game here. It's probably more about maybe trying to finish on a high note here, just score a 1.
Right.
Just as a tiny victory for the morale, but also TV game, playing in front of thousands of fans. Maybe they're just enjoying it, and they want to just, again, score a 1 here to finish off on a nice note this evening.
It's a very good point, Sander, and the athletes will tell you. Curling events, of course, are held around the world, but Canada, being a country where there is a huge following of curling, great live spectator attendances at international events in Canada, and the non-Canadian athletes really love playing in Canada because of that. Lots of crowd, lots of atmosphere, and you want to soak it up a little bit, no doubt.
I'll tell you one Canadian who doesn't mind.
That would be?
Shannon Burchard.
Shannon Burchard.
She'll get to play a couple more shots and play another end of curling.
That's true.
She's probably pretty keen to play as much as possible.
I don't know. She came onto the ice at 94%, made 2 perfect shots, so that's probably putting her to about 97. Might just stop right there, call it a week. But you're right, a little bit of extra work for Shannon Burchard. She won't mind. Chances are she would have been staying after the match to throw a little bit of post-game practice anyway, so get a little bit of work in early.
Yeah, a little warm-up.
Romay. other than this game, some really close contests out there. A number of them with meaning as far as the playoffs go. Went through the playoff format. 6 teams make the playoffs this time around. First time this format is being introduced at the World Women's Curling Championship.
Well, that's a pistol right there.
Pachoom, a pistoli, all right. Triangle formation. That's welded right in there. Great shot.
Okay. The level of difficulty is up a little bit for Shannon Burchard.
If she makes this one, we're going to give her 7 out of 4.
Going to run this corner guard in, try and clip one of the red stones to free up that yellow stone. Might be over curling. Very close. We're talking half an inch.
Yeah. Nearly made the run in.
It's a bit of a risky shot anyway.
3 out of 4, Shannon.
Yeah, well.
Darn. Expect to make those angle run up triple clears all night. Good chance now for the Italians to build something up after that very nice freeze into the pocket. Going full Michael Jordan, sticking the tongue out after the throw. Tucks it around the corner. Something going here for Italy. Nice shot.
Yeah. Might see them play the double off of the yellow. Obviously the first yellow won't go, but you might be able to remove some of the red backing. And the shooter spins over, catches that stone just played by Italy.
Trying to hit it right about where Jennifer Jones has got her brush. Nothing yet. Willing it to curl. Catches it thin, unlocks the back one, but no double takeout. So, Italy with a chance to throw another one around the corner guard. So when you start thinking 3 if you make this shot.
A 3. You might think to play on.
Absolutely. Nine is the weight read. No, that's deep in the rings. There's using the zones of distance weight communication method.
You're such a polyglot, Hans.
You watch enough international curling, you learn to count to 10 in a lot of languages.
That's true.
Three Italian stones in the rings. Caitlin Laws looking to blast at least one of them out of there, and maybe more. Is this one going to go right through the hole? Yes, it does. Hello.
Okay.
Hello. That's hard to do.
Seemed like she was trying to hold back a smile there almost. Caitlin Laws.
Yeah.
Like kind of bit of an embarrassed smile.
Yeah, I meant to do that. Nearly impossible. You could throw that 10 times and that wouldn't happen again.
Well, they're pretty spread.
That's true. Wrap another one around the corner guard here. Jeepers creepers.
I think I bet my bottom dollar Canada is able to remove at least one yellow on the next one.
You don't think they could get through that picket fence one more time? I don't know.
There's a loony in it for you.
Side bet? Okay.
If you wish to take it on, Hans.
You give me odds?
1 to 2. A toonie for a loony.
A toonie for a loony. Yeah, well, especially depending where this one is going to come up. That closes part of the picket fence. Toonie for Aluni.
I'll give you a toonie for Aluni for 2 yellows.
For 2 yellows, okay, well that's a bit different.
7, 8.
Let me just see where she puts the brush first, and then I'll tell you.
I think it's hard to.
I'll take it.
Okay. Well, it's just I can't believe Canada's going to miss 3 shots in a row. Or 4, rather.
Jeepers, they're going to try and clear this corner guard, and they're going to run it in.
Could get more than 2 going here. This does not sound good for me.
No is usually a bad sign.
Okay.
Okay. Looney is safe.
We agreed on 2 yellows though, Han, so that's
well, that's true too. Okay.
Oh boy.
We'll call that one
I thought I'd do that one.
a soft and settle for chicken wings later.
So it's splitting the rings, it seems, for Italy. Just drop to the other wing.
You could do. Could also think about guarding the 2, but this is old school. Get a lot of separation. Guarantee your 2 and maybe more. Have to get it on the rings, though. Have to get it on the rings. Forte, forte, forte. It's on the rings. Well swept.
I'm not sure if Jennifer Jones can get more than 2 on this next one.
Might hit the back of the right-hand stone, depending how thin she clips it. Could make a triple.
7, 8, I think, just goes right into there. I thought if we lose it, we might get the. Yeah, I guess if we nose it, 7, 8, then I might have a double.
Yeah, and then I guess if we.
I guess, yeah. Okay.
Yep. So I just wanted to.
So after a strange kind of end, Jennifer Jones, I think, mentally conceding a possibility of a 3 here. Saying, all right, make the double takeout. Take it from there.
We're going to see if the top yellow might come off the second and catch the one on the far left. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think this one will be light. Expect peel weight from Jennifer Jones and maybe more. Removes 2, rolls to the button, cuts the damage down, but a chance for a nose hit for Italy to set up the 3.
Yeah, actually had to catch it thinner.
Didn't
Yeah.
think it would finish off as
Sprung
much.
flatter across than they were expecting. Catch all thinner.
Changes the angle, maybe hit more of the back of the stone instead of
get more of
driving
a
straight
split.
Needs to nose hit. If Gaspari can nose this one, definitely a 3 on the cards. Over curls, brings the stone a little bit nearer her stone on the wings. Now, Jennifer Jones, do you play the double? Probably you do. Up 7, even if you roll out.
Or are you thinking freeze?
If you're really gutsy, you could try the freeze. Is that a loony or a toonie on the freeze? No freeze here, folks. It's going to be a blast. Just wants to hit slightly on the brush side of the top stone, double the 2 off, and leave Italy a draw for 2. Jennifer Jones trying to reduce the damage. Have they left it too long? Yes, they have. Caught them by surprise. Weren't sweeping it halfway down, then all of a sudden a panic. Yes, too late. It's a draw for 3. We've seen this all week from this Italian team. They get down 4 or 5 points, you think they're dead. All of a sudden you look back and they're back in the game. Chance now for 3. Just needs full 12-foot. This would be the second 3-point end of the game for the Italians. They're scoring in bunches, but they've got to work hard to get it there. Everybody on it. Needs full 12-foot. It's there. 3 points for Italy. Well, I don't think they're going to shake hands right now, not after scoring a 3. Having a look at each other, but they're going to carry on, I would. After 7, Canada 10, Italy 6.
Dieci? 15 anche? 10.
Quick update on the other games. Germany 4, United States 4. Russia now with a 6-5 lead over Sweden. Korea 7-4 over Japan, and Canada, this one's tightening up 10-6 over Italy.
Facciamo il 3, ok? La tenuta però in realtà. Dici che ci arriviamo a 3. Linea! Linea!
Steal 2, steal 2, steal 1.
Yeah, you might as well finish it in 10. No sense playing an extra end. Here's the guard. Stranger things have happened in the sport of curling.
Name 1.
Well, in outdoor curling once, ice melted a little bit thin and the stones actually fell through the ice, and so did the players.
Oh boy.
So that can happen in the sport of curling on outdoor natural ice.
Yeah, I think the ice is safe here.
Okay, so presuming that's not going to happen here. Let's see, what other strange things have I seen?
You ever seen a stone smashed to bits?
I have. I actually saw that happen in Sochi. The powerful Katja Kiskinen hammering a stone. It fell into 2 pieces. She now proudly goes around the world showing photos of the broken stone. Powerful Finnish destructive force. So yes, there's actually still a rule in the rule books. Biggest piece if the stone falls to bits. These days, of course, you'd replace the stone. That's what happens. Back in the day when you didn't have a replacement stone, maybe you just kind of chucked the biggest piece and kind of made do for the rest of the 21 ends that you'd play outdoors.
21 ends.
21 ends. Don McEwen.
You don't feel safe with a 4-point lead after 5 ends a 21 end game, I assume.
No such thing as a safe lead. Start playing the scoreboard in about the 15th.
That's when you play the tech shots.
That's when you start playing the tech shots. Still a very proud tradition of outdoor curling. My homeland of New Zealand. Still play outdoors on natural ice, 21 ends. On the slower outdoor ice, no such thing as a 14.5 second draw on that ice. You're generally heaving it to get it down the other end. So 21 ends sounds like a long time, but you usually wind up playing the game in about 3.5 hours. An occasional beverage break. Stone sliding deep.
And that's through, almost through.
Canada lying to and looking to really finish the job here. They're up 4. They've got the hammer. 8th end. They'd like to put a 2 or a 3 on the board and maybe hope that Deanna Gaspari would say that's enough and call it a night. Shannon Burchard.
I think this would be the first draw for Shannon. It's a little, one thing's playing hit because you just kick out as hard as you can, hit the broom, but not having played on this ice except for in practice where it's all different. To throw a draw, not super easy.
Yep. Keep roll your vibe. Backy. Yep. Make it like I want it to curl. Go. No.
Pretty good effort.
It's got to rub. Go. Okay. Caitlin.
Well, now she knows.
Double peel, I guess.
Yeah, it kind of comes back.
That's what I was, we can only get the one, which is fine.
Stefania Constantini. That's really where all the practice pays off, doesn't it, Sandra? The teams spend hours and hours with speed traps and stopwatches. And you hear them in the hack saying 13.5, 13.8. That's the split times between the hogs. And they've got muscle memory for every variant, every 1/10 of a second, really, don't they? And even if they haven't had a chance to practice, if somebody says, okay, throw it 14.2 to the tee, your body remembers.
That's true, but ice is very different always. Although it might look the same, this has a different feel. So when you go to a new rink,
it's true.
14.5 in one rink might not seem 14.5 in another. It's always a little bit different.
It's true. Sometimes the slide path feels a little bit different. You feel like you're sliding a little bit less freely if the ice is a little bit grabbier or frostier. Clears the front.
If it's a little crispy, or if it's a little flat, fudgy, slick, dry. There's many feels to the ice.
It's almost poetic.
The rock could be a little bit with the rocks as well. Even the hacks. The hacks are usually very uniform nowadays, but they're a little steeper.
Or you could just throw the number. Guard being played by the Italians. Just trying to stack them up, protect that stone in the 4-foot circle. Trying to come around it later. Jones will clear it. Italy not unexpectedly hanging tough here. Seen it a number of times this week.
You're good. Nice throw, Caitlin. Real good.
I would never guess it was that fast.
No, yeah, that's okay. I was going for 4.5, but.
4 secondi.
Sì. Io questo era un 4-5, 4-7. Tu quanto hai preso? 4-7.
Veronica Zapponi. 8th end. You're enjoying live curling action at the North Bay Memorial Gardens at the Ford World Women's Curling Championships. A very nice freeze here by Zapponi. I love it. This Italian team, they are fighters.
Whoever just knows that or no?
I don't think Jennifer Jones is really wanting to have this conversation. Caitlin Law says, we can nose the yellow one. Jennifer says, come down and have a look.
Where do I have to be top button? Because you ever hit it?
Well, anywhere from top 4 to frozen.
Okay.
Even if she freezes it, then I blast.
Okay.
And then I might have something.
Okay.
So it was starting to look like a promising end for the Canadians is now all of a sudden
Yeah, they do want to just go top button.
a little bit more complicated.
But I think the miss is to come right down to it with it too, and then if she freezes, then we can blast the top. But it just really shrinks her scoring, so don't love it, but. Okay,
Caitlin must play the front
I think
stone.
so.
Canada could have played this end a lot differently.
Yeah.
Just played a lot more defensively, just trying to keep it open, make sure they score a 1.
Yep.
That's more than enough, but they felt like just playing a little bit here and
Yeah, trying to put it away.
yeah. Maybe also feeling like a bit of a revenge. Show Italy that we can outplay you
That's true too.
after giving up that 3.
Oh, very nice stone there by Caitlin Laws, right on the pin. Good angle as well. It's going to be very difficult for Deanna Gaspari to wedge one of her own in there. Burchard and McEwen on the brush. Real good indeed.
This is in the way. Yeah. It comes back, clips this one.
Okay.
Canada has last rock here. Looking to score a pair. That might be enough. That would put them up 6.
Io andrei con un 4. Sì. Freeze e basta. Freeze.
Il mio che è arrivato lì.
Talking about strange things on the curling ice. I've been reminded, Sander, by one of my teammates in New Zealand that once we were down 8-2 in a game, came back, won the game. Our opponents were really angry about it, but then we managed to sell them fundraising t-shirts to help defray our travel costs to get there. So that's pretty strange.
Okay.
Linea buona.
Secondo me ne abbiamo più
Si
di
può
chi.
aspettare
One of the
pareggio.
great sales jobs of all time, really.
Linea no. Linea no. Sì.
Dobbiamo andare.
Dai che c'è. Sì. Oh, wow.
Not far away. Just needed to curl another half a rocket. That's a pretty good attempt.
Slightly overswept.
Yeah.
Did bounce just a wee bit.
Quarter, do you like?
Looks to me like Canada could nose hit this and maybe even get a slight inside roll, Sandra. It's jamming all day on the stone in the back of the 4-foot. Could leave themselves lying 3.
My broom.
Jennifer Jones gets to the other end and realizes that she's got no broom to throw with.
It's on the nose. Just with a 9. Sorry, Don. Thank you.
Teammate Don McEwen does the Sherpa job and
Just on the nose, Don, like a 9. Okay.
brings the cargo back for her skipper. Shot's there. It's tight. She would have to get quite near to that yellow stone on the center line in the front 8-foot, but just across nose. Kill the shot, roll inside. Lie 3. Pretty accurate on her hits tonight, Jennifer Jones.
Yep, well, yep.
Are they by the stone at the top of the 8-foot? Yes, they are. Canada lies 3. Great shot.
Ooh, and I tell you what, I don't think they'll left very much for Italy either.
Terrific. Once she was by that stone in the front of the 8-foot, that shot was a lock. Perfect.
Yeah.
How does Diana Gaspari? Can she wedge it to the stone in the back of the 4-foot? Still get shot? I'm not sure.
I think so. Freeze the red stone back 4. Sideways parking.
No margin for error, though, if she was ever to flop outside. Canada shot for 4, and that would certainly be game over. All or nothing for Diana Gaspari. Trying the freeze.
Can't really be heavy here.
Just a fraction wide. And it is going to be an open hit for 4. This could be Arrivederci Italia.
Could be a 14-6 game. You don't see those numbers very often.
It's true.
Are we 3?
Very unusual.
One just draw?
Oh, they might be drawing actually.
Yeah, sure. Are we 3?
You need to make sure they're already lying 3 first before you make that decision.
So I can think almost draw to the button. I think so, yeah.
3 is enough already.
Yeah.
But, you know, Italy scored 3 on them in the previous end, so they want to score 4 back to prove a point.
Exactly.
So like 15 feet faster. Really? Okay.
Yeah, flying good here.
Okay.
Well, obviously some wide variations in the different paths in the ice. Jennifer Jones thinks this one's 15 feet faster than another path I've thrown. That's a huge difference.
Well, she has the backing here.
Yeah, she does.
Can't hurt it. Line's good.
One of these stones you do not want to miss light.
Line's good. Can't hurt it. Line's great.
Really close. We're there.
Bertrand McEwen backing off. They think the weight's there. Full 4-foot will cash in the 4. Here it comes. 4 points for Canada. That should do it. Huge roar from this capacity crowd. 4 points for Canada. Italy concedes defeat. 14-6. Unbeaten Canada keeps it rolling along. Jennifer Jones with a big 14-6 victory.
A bit of a strange game. Italy scored twice. 3 You're not going to do that to Canada very often, but still quite far away from winning.
Yep. Only a single 1-point end in this game. Every other end was scored multiple points. So lots of scoring in that one. Canada.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for all the support.
Keeps them at the very top of the table. Unbeaten. Sixth end. Look at this. Canada line 6. Diana Gaspari has to hit and stick to score. A little bit wide. It's a steal of 2 to Canada. They lead the game by a score of 10-3. Italy not giving up in the 7th end. Some great shooting sets up an open draw for 3 for Diana Gaspari. She cashes it in. Italy not dead yet. Canada 10, Italy 6. Eighth end, after a fantastic hit and roll by Jennifer Jones to leave herself lying 3. Gaspari a little bit heavy with her attempted freeze, so it is a draw for 4 for Canada's Jennifer Jones. Makes it perfectly. 4 points and victory for Canada. Final score, Canada 14 and Italy 6. Catching you up on the other games, Germany and the United States are tied at 5, as are Russia and Sweden. They are tied at 6. Korea leading Japan by a score of 7-5. And the final score in our feature match, Canada 14 and Italy 6. Here are the updated standings with some games still in progress. Canada now first place all by themselves, 10-0. They've qualified for the playoffs. Sweden 9-1, Korea and Russia at 6-3, USA 5-4, Czech Republic at 5-5, Japan, China, Switzerland, Denmark, Scotland, Germany, and Italy rounding out the standings. So that'll do it. Thank you very much for joining us. Great night here in North Bay at the Memorial Gardens. We hope you've enjoyed the action. We've enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm Hans Fraunlaub. On behalf of my colleague Sander Rolvag and our entire production team, thank you and good night from North Bay.